Hello, it's another podcast. Welcome to After the Lights. I'm James,
I'm
and
Matt.
that way, I got it right this time. That way is Matt.
Hiya.
Hello, we're here for
How are we?
another hour of just talking.
Wibble.
Yeah. So we've got a lot to talk about this week. First and foremost, CRS going well at the minute. We've just cracked into our Indy Car Series, haven't we? So St. Petersburg was on Sunday. It was a good race.
Yes. Yes.
A couple of incidents here and there, which we'll look at later. But what was your opinions on everything? I think it was all right so far for a first race. I know we were racing in it, but we only got to see our point of view. But it wasn't bad, really.
Yeah, it's really good. Tricky track. 80-minute race.
Yeah, nice.
Introduction of a new safety car thing, which was debatable in the end, but
Yep.
we might have sorted that. But yeah, it was really good. New quali format because 20 cars on a track like that in 15-minute qualifying
Yeah.
was well thought about and altered. But yeah.
Yes, it was. Yeah, in time for everything, wasn't it? So it was two 10-minute sessions per group. It was quite good actually, and kudos to the first group that went out. I think there was maybe only one incident of someone maybe impeding, although it probably wasn't
Yeah.
taken that like that seriously. But the first group, like, they spaced themselves out really good. Obviously there'll be a stream on that later, but yeah, it was pretty good to watch. And then yeah, from my point of view, the racing was pretty good actually. Beginning of the race, like the race start was fantastic, wasn't it? No
Yeah.
incidents or anything.
Yep. Everyone was very cautious within being too cautious,
Yeah,
if you like,
yeah,
on the race start, which was really good. The only yellow flag that happened was, I think, someone made their own little mistake and didn't take anyone with them.
yeah,
But yeah, it
yeah.
was yeah, calm.
Yeah, it was good. And obviously now that barrels onto next week,
Yes.
or this week rather. Now we're in that week, and obviously the change from Pocono Oval, which was on the calendar and has been on the calendar for a while, and we've moved that to Nazareth in Pennsylvania, which
Yes.
weirdest oval I've ever seen, but a really cool track.
Yeah, I remember when I watched Nigel Mansell's 1993 IndyCar season, and that was on it. And it just, from the TV cameras, it doesn't justify how weird the track is.
No.
Now it's like a tri-oval, but there's four corners.
Yep.
It's strange, but it's not flat out. There's a bit of technique involved. It's a really short lap, really short,
Really
20
short.
seconds I think we
Yeah.
calculated,
Yes, 20
and
seconds.
that was with a quick dash.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be fun.
Will be in bit of testing last night and stuff. Yeah, 20-second laps are about the average there, and the obvious difference there now, Matt, is that we won't be using the oval car for that particular oval because it's not doesn't really work, does it? So they definitely used a higher downforce configuration there anyway back in the day. So
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be good. Couple of code 80s at the weekend. Again,
Oh yes.
actually really well done from everyone, because when the code 80 was called, from memory, pretty much everybody slowed down where they were supposed to and followed
Yep.
those rules. And I watched a lot of people back, after the race, and yeah,
Yep.
really good. So everybody in the IndyCar League is going strong. I'm looking forward to showcasing that to everybody later with a stream. But yeah, we've got the Indy 500 in a few weeks now. That's approaching. That's pretty big.
Yeah,
Um,
it's quite an intense one in Indy 500, as we know.
yeah,
It's right place, right time,
right place, right time, and right strategy, and everything's all
and you've got three titles to defend.
I have got three titles. But yeah, also between this weekend and Indy 500, we've got Mid Ohio and we've got Virginia International
Yes.
Raceway as well. Two very different circuits compared to the two circuits that we'll have done for the first part of the season. So, what's your thoughts on what's going to happen there? There's a lot more room for people to make moves. There's a lot more ability to go racing. I suspect Nazareth is going to be quite difficult, but
Yeah, Nazareth is going to be a test of concentration because there's no real let up in the 20-second lap.
no.
Mid Ohio is basically, you could class it as like a Hungaroring is to Monaco. It's like that, but without the walls. It's tight, twisty. There's hills, blind corners, awkward corners.
Yep.
It's a very difficult track. And then Virginia is just it's a lot of commitment.
Yeah, it is. It is
It's a quick track.
very quick and a lot of commitment and a lot of strategy might play
Yes.
a big part at that particular race. But yeah, while we're on the discussion of CRS Indy Car, obviously we had the Row 2, F4, F3, F2, all of which you won. Um, so, that build up from our perspective was quite good, but from what we've heard from other people as well, the Row 2 has kind of helped everybody to get really comfortable in the IndyCar, and I think that made a difference at St. Petersburg.
Massive difference.
Yeah, yeah,
Those that are new to the league, I think they wouldn't have enjoyed St. Petersburg half as much as what they did
yeah,
if they hadn't done that Row 2 series. It was a little brief explanation again. It's just a way of building up people to the top level of that certain series. So we had the F4s, the F3s, then the F2s, and then in now IndyCar. And it's you start a fixed setup, then you allow certain little setup items. You get to F2, you get the full setup, but the car's slower because we put a 150% restrictor on it.
yep,
And now IndyCar's just full unleashed.
yep,
Like so, it's just a gradual build up to allow people to optimize themselves in the lower cars and step up gradually.
yep. Yeah, it is. It's been good. It's been a good ramp up to the top.
Yeah.
Definitely, definitely made a difference. Shall we do the IndyCar intros? Show everybody
Yes.
what to expect.
Yes.
This will be
You can
showcased
see
later.
who's on the grid.
See who's on the grid. Obviously, this will be showcased later in the stream as well. But yeah, yeah. Check this out, guys. This is the IndyCar intros for the IndyCar season that we've got. Enjoy. So yeah, the intros to all the drivers there, Matt. Some really cool pictures, some really fun pictures, and when we asked everybody to kind of send everything in, I don't think we expected some people to have like such a sense of humor and a bit of a laugh with it.
No, it's good.
It's
It's
good
nice
to
to
see.
see.
Yeah, it's brilliant, and some cracking liveries out there as well. Tom Hackett livery,
Yeah.
looking pretty decent, and
Yeah. The fruit salad
the
from
fruit
Tim
salad
Brown.
from Tim Brown. Yeah, and Dreamy's car from Jimmy Murray. I know I built that, but it's still
Yeah.
quite a nice livery, and all the others as well. Yours, mine, everybody's. I think everybody's liveries are looking really cool this year, and
Yeah,
really
it just gives everyone an identity, doesn't it?
yeah, it makes the grid look cool, and definitely for the stream that we'll be hosting, those cars are gonna all stand out on their own. Be very easy to tell who you're watching. So
Yep.
very cool. I think we're done for the IndyCar conversation. I think it's time to wave the yellow flags
Yeah.
and get out the VSC as we talk about honourable mentions.
Yes.
Where shall we start? Shall we start with Tom?
Well, we can do. We'll link it with the previous discussion. Yeah. Tom Hackett, his first ever IndyCar race with CRS, and he took the win. Drove impeccably throughout.
He did. He took the win. I know it was close between yourself and him, but
Yep.
it was a mega race from him. And
Yeah, really good pace.
it's just a shame we didn't have any streamer interviews because it would have been good to hear from him after the race. But yeah, really good from everybody, but especially both of you. You were nose to tail for pretty much 80 minutes, which is what you want, really, isn't it? Another person to mention, Andrew May, raced in the F2s for the last race, but then joined us for the first race in IndyCar and ended up P7, which on a grid of 15 cars, 16 cars, is a pretty mega job, really. Yeah, really impressive.
He did do a really good job because watching him in practice during the week, he was making mistakes, struggling a bit, hitting the wall a lot, and then race day came and yeah, really good drive, fantastic. His qualifying was brilliant.
Yeah.
He didn't really get in the way of any leaders or cars that were lapping him or anything like that. Didn't really cause any incidents. Just a really good drive, yeah.
It's a solid drive, and good from him. Beth Stibbles as well, good drive from her, respectively. Obviously, Andrew May's teammate, but Sector 1 racing at like third in the team's championship, so that's pretty good.
It's good effort.
So it's a good job from them. The other factor, and something that we didn't have at St. Petersburg, but we will have for Nazareth, is a safety car. But more importantly, it's the person driving the safety car.
Yes.
It's Smokey. Probably our oldest member in CRS. Had some back issues recently, and he's finally back, but not racing. He's going to be running the safety car for us, and just a big thank you to him for offering to do that, but also thank you to him for like being okay to do that, or like being able to say, no, I don't want to race, I want to do this. I think it's quite admirable.
First, I'll say I like the pun. He's back.
Yes,
that was really good. But yeah, it is really nice to see Smokey back. We've missed hearing Homes Under the Hammer in the background and stuff like that. And yeah. But yeah, he's a really nice member of the community and a hell of a personality.
Yeah,
and it's nice to see him back.
And it's nice to see him back, and he has, he won't take crap from anybody. So safety car rules is safety car rules. Obviously, we've not put it in our notes, Matt, but obviously, hopefully, we won't just have Smokey on the admin side come Sunday. We'll also have Will, who will be our race director. I know you've not really spoken or met him before, but yeah, having a race director is going to really make a difference, and having the safety car there, it should make it a bit more controlled, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, well, it will stop incidents like of which I had at St. Petersburg. We had 4 drivers at St. Petersburg that were essentially the stewards, so if they saw anything that would be VSC related or Code 80 related, we call it.
Yep.
We'd call it out as a possible Code 80, and then Dizzy would make the final call, and then we'd start the countdown. As I'm coming up to turn 4, I see two cars getting a bit of a muddle into the runoff, and my mic's muted, so I've gone to reach over to the mic. As I've done that, I'm in the braking zone. I've stood on the brakes harder, locked up, and ended up on my lid.
Yeah.
So it should stop things like that. Plus, you had Beth was one and had the mic muted a couple of times. So it's when you're driving, it's difficult to, especially on St. Petersburg. It's a track where you've got no. Yeah, you've got no time to really mess about with your hands off the wheel.
Zero time.
So yeah, it should be better. Race director will be a big thing, and Smokey driving the safety car, that'd be good fun.
It will make a big difference for sure. Yeah. And yeah, talking about that, actually, you mentioned you going upside down. Just that the clumsy section that we did, obviously, last month. We had a video, I think, last month. I don't think we've got any videos this month. I do have a picture somewhere, but it will all probably get seen in the stream, right? So it's not the end of the world. Yeah, Jacob Hine, the owner-driver, unfortunately, on a Code 80 restart, getting caught out by Beth Stibbles and being sent to another track in the sky, by the looks of it.
Yes.
Yeah, a crazy thing. You'll probably see that in the stream, guys. But yeah, that was it was a bit of a mental crash. But they all carried on, no damage. Obviously, we don't run damage, and obviously yourself with an Australian style virtual safety car where you were upside down.
Yes.
Yeah, an interesting race, but bit of clumsy section there from that. But yeah, Smokey returning, really good to see that. Tom Hackett, well done for the win, and everybody else that raced, mega job. And I'm looking forward to this Sunday, and actually looking forward to Thursday as well. See what Thursday brings tomorrow. But Sunday is the main race day. Looking forward to that. So yes, more sim racing stuff. Obviously, we've got our CRS stuff, but as the logo at the bottom of the screen right now shows, we also do CRS Xkart eSports, which is our eSports team, and we've been pretty busy. Well, actually, we've not been that busy when I say that, actually. We have signed up to some new stuff. We've taken ourselves out of the EERC.
Yes.
In our last podcast, we mentioned that we were getting ready for the Spa 24, and it got cancelled about 4 hours in, and that's happened before with another race. So we just decided to just leave because we're not putting loads of time in to just not race. So yeah, that didn't happen, but we're on board for EES, we're on board for VMO, and possibly going back to EERC, but for the BTCC. Matt, the VMO, obviously you're our driver for the VMO at the moment, the only driver on the grid in the Xkart eSports livery. You did pretty well. You actually were third quickest in one of the races, I think, and considering you had ballast on the car, actually probably quite a good outcome, really, I'd say.
Yeah, it was all right. Race one, I had the 25 kilo ballast. Didn't make the best of start, so I was a bit cautious, but finished P12 after starting 17th, if I recall. Race 2 got obliterated, so retired. And then race 3, after a couple of incidents, found the pace on the soft tyres, set the third fastest time, and still finished 19th, which ain't too bad. But yeah,
still good.
It's a shame I didn't get to mix it with the other guys, but the pace is there. It's just a matter of not being the newbie target.
And yeah, I think you're safe from being in that situation, but obviously the rest of the Xkart team getting ready for other touring car seasons with T6M Sport. But myself, Tom Hackett, Tim Brown, I think we're taking part in the Porsche Cup. I think the rest of the lads, most of the lads, are taking part in the touring cars. You're preparing yourself for the VMO. And then the EES Endurance Racing Series, when we do that, that's going to be quite cool. That is going to be a proper series that goes on till next year. So well into 2025.
Nice calendar as well.
Really great calendar, some brilliant circuits, and it all closes with the Le Mans 24. So it's kind of a nice ending to the season, rather than it being, an 8-hour race or whatever, which kind of doesn't matter as much. It's a bit easier on the drivers by the end, but to not have a 24-hour race for the whole season, you build up to that 24-hour race, you've learned everything by that point. So
yeah,
hoping that'll be good. But yeah, we're waiting to get into that, aren't we? So that's not until the end of this month that we'll probably get into that. So next month's podcast, we might be able to say we're in.
Yes.
Yeah.
And say who's driving for us.
Yes, absolutely. And possibly get a driver to come and join us in for a bit of a chat, as we had Beth last time. We haven't got anyone today. We've got us, though. So that's good. Yeah, so we've got a lot coming for Xkart eSports. We're not doing a lot right now, apart from Matt, who's doing incredibly well in the VMO. Porsche starts next week, and touring
which
cars
I'm reserved for.
And you're reserved for the Porsche. Nice.
I'm reserved.
So, well, you possibly are going to get a seat. So there's another race night that you'll be doing. So yeah, that's going to be fun. Be 4 of us in the Porsche Cup, which would be really cool to see.
Yep. Yep.
But I think that's it for sim racing, esports, CRS stuff. If anyone wants to join CRS, you're liking what we're doing with the podcast, and you want to join in on the racing and everything, and join in on the streams and stuff, then you can do it by the link at the bottom of the description. Come and join our Discord, say hello. We're not strangers. We like to make new mates all the time. And
all ability levels welcome.
Oh yeah, doesn't matter if you're just starting, or if you've been doing sim racing for years, or like even if you don't have a rig, you're just into sport, like motorsport, and you just are enjoying this. Like, feel free to come along and help us on our little journey as we grow this community to another level, because it needs it, and we know we can do it. We just need you guys to help us. Anyway, on to where we are living, the real world.
The IRL.
We've got a lot to talk about in probably about half an hour, but F1. So much happened with the F1, Matt. Silverstone. Spa. Hungary as well. How can we forget? All these races that have happened over the last few weeks for F1. I can't think back and go, that race was boring.
No.
Silverstone was exciting from lap 1. And we had 4 different leaders. Hungary was dull until about a quarter to the end. And then it just rocketed to one of the best races. Brilliant ending to a race. Verstappen just getting all crossed up and getting cross with himself was beyond. And then Spa, and obviously the great race from George that ended up not being a race that was disqualified and out. I mean, but yeah,
it's unfortunate for him to deceive the strategy gods and whisper those tyres the way he did. I mean, a couple of other drivers, I think Hamilton and Piastri, both said that there's plenty of life left in the tyres when they were told to pit. But for George to actually take it by the scruff of the neck and tell the team, no, this will be a one-stop, this. And then the excitement and happiness that he felt directly after to then be crushed must be, it's a big thing to win at Spa. It's a big thing to outdo your competitors who are world class with strategy, but then for it all to come crumbling down must be a good job. There's a 4-week break for him.
It must be heartbreaking, like you say.
Yeah.
It's he thinks, I've won it, and what a job he did, to be fair. And I'm sure that wasn't an easy job to do, to get that car back across the line in first when you've got a Lewis with fresh tyres chasing you. So kudos to him. He must have really pushed those last few laps to just get the last out of them tyres, but
Yeah.
it's just such a shame.
Yeah.
But Lewis comes away with a win. So another win. That's 2 wins now this year, and kind of dispels that drought that he had for so long. The Silverstone win was the comeback. Like, what a comeback that was. Like, of a race win. I think you probably agree that grown men were crying, and yeah, it was what a race to win.
Yeah. Well, he hadn't won a race since 2021, and we know what sort of impact that had on him mentally.
Yep.
But to do it on pace and to see him driving how people know Lewis to drive was incredible. But I think the standout figure at the moment is Oscar Piastri. How well is that 21-year-old Aussie doing at the moment?
So unbelievably well, and to come away with a win as well. Like, he's got a win in the bag now. Like,
yeah. He got P2 at Spa.
He was so reserved when he won. Don't you think? So reserved.
Yeah, I think it was because of how McLaren made that win.
Yeah. I bet he didn't feel like he earned it.
No driver's going to turn around and celebrate like it's the best thing ever when it's a manufactured win by the team, or in this case, a manufactured calamity by undercutting him with his teammate and
unnecessarily,
then begging his teammate to let him back through again. It's just, there was no need. They were clear that they had a 7-8 second gap to Lewis at the time, and they weren't under threat. And McLaren just, it was like they were trying to do a soap opera or something in Formula One.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah, but
yeah,
people love that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's just a bit weird, just a bit mad, right?
It would have been boring without that.
Yeah,
let's face it.
Agreed. Yeah, so F1 has been pretty exciting, but I'm sure everybody's seen a lot of that already on YouTube and all those places, all the places that you get all your news from. But it's been interesting, and obviously we've got a 4-week break now until we head to Zandvoort, for which we'll do the predictions for that later. But on to other sport and motorsport series that we enjoy, follow, and want to chat about. We've got the GT World Challenge that took place at Hockenheim. I'm not entirely sure on the results to that, but I have a feeling
I have them right here.
I thought so. So yeah, the results from Hockenheim, Hockenheim being relatively quite a short track, and especially for a GT car, consider it quite a short circuit, really.
1 minute 39.
Yeah, it's quite a short lap then.
So it's not like your Spas or your Suzukas or anything like that, which are 2 minute plus.
No.
But it's interesting, right? Mixture of cars. Lucas Mauer Engel won race 1 in the AMG.
Yeah.
Followed by Wirtz and Van Thor in the Beamer, and Ben Green and Conster Lapalainen in the Ferrari 1, 2, 3.
So good, that sounds like front engine were really quite strong there. Then if the BMWs and the Mercedes are at the front, but then a Ferrari's right there in third. So
yeah, but then you reverse the top 3, and that's the result for race 2.
Yeah,
the Ferrari won.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, the BOP looks quite good, to be fair.
The BOP this year for GT in general, not just World Challenge, but I think the British GT as well. And the Asian Asian GT series, all brilliant and
it's interesting to see the likes of Jules Gounon and Maximilian Goertz finishing in 12th.
Yeah, I feel like they're not having the best of years this year.
No, Mercedes. Apart from the Lucas Hauer car, I think Mercedes seem to be struggling a little bit without Raffaele Marcello.
Yeah.
He's gone to WRT now, hasn't he, with BMW? And,
yes, yeah. And he's starting to pull his weight a bit around there as well. He's starting to make a difference, because BMWs are starting to improve week in, week out, which is something cool to see. Rossi's still
Definitely.
around, but Rossi's now just a driver. I don't think he's got that aura around him of, oh, it's Valentino Rossi. Like, now he's just another driver because he kind of needs to be that now. Like,
Yeah.
the whole, like, sellability of, we have Valentino Rossi in our car, that's gone. Like, yeah. It'd be nice to see him, like, gain some more wins or podiums on merit, or him earning that from a certain position. But yeah.
Yeah, he'll struggle. He's let's face it, he's in the twilight of his career, and he just wanted to do that for the fun of it, because it's better than constantly breaking bones on two wheels.
Yeah.
But he's still got pace. Don't get me wrong, but GT World Challenge and World Endurance ain't no mugs game.
It's not,
It
is
ain't.
it?
There's still
No,
some
it's not.
quick boys out there.
It's not a mugs game at all. It's you know, it's just as difficult as any other racing series. Speaking
Yeah.
of, we've got the WEC. Obviously, WEC has been relatively quite quiet, though we had the, I think it was the 6 hours of Brazil, or, well, it will have been...
Yes. Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo,
Yes.
that's the one.
Brazil. Yeah.
Couldn't think of the name for the life of me then. But in between all of that, Matt, and all the WEC stuff, we've
Yes.
had the most awesome sight to see at Silverstone in the form of the Aston Martin Valkyrie.
Yeah, it's looking forward to that. It's nice to see that WEC now has such a mixture of cars, because it was boring when you had Audi there as basically the unbeatable. Then Toyota took over as the unbeatable.
Yeah.
But now you've got Ferrari, Porsche, Toyota,
Peugeot.
BMW, Lamborghini, Peugeot. It's fantastic. And then Aston Martin have got a car that's been prepped and drawn up by Adrian Newey.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be fantastic to see. It's fantastic to see Aston Martin on any race grid, but to see it in the hypercar fighting for the honours at the front is going to be fantastic.
With a purebred Aston
Yes.
Martin, like, hypercar, not like,
Yep.
oh, it says Aston Martin on it, but it's got a whatever engine in it, or whatever, or, you know what I mean? Like, the Formula One team, Aston Martin, is just a brand, in my opinion. Like,
I agree.
where, you know, they've not built the car, the team that's built the car is still what was Racing Point, whereas the
And it's a
hypercar,
Mercedes engine.
and it's a Mercedes engine, whereas the hypercar might be a Mercedes engine, high possibility, but the hypercar is developed by, like you say, Adrian Newey, so it's by someone who knows what they're doing, and by a group of people that have worked with that car now for a while, because the Valkyrie, if my memory serves me right, has been around for an awfully long time in different guises. I'm sure we were looking at Aston Martin Valkyries and all these about 5 years ago.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken. And like, so to have it for that long, it's almost like they've been waiting for the opportunity to go, we need to make this into a hypercar, but we need to wait for a class to come along that will let us do that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's they've kind of been forced into making a move like that, if you like, with the likes of Lamborghini, BMW, Ferrari, especially with Ferrari being in it. That'll open a lot of manufacturers' eyes to go,
Everyone's
we need to be in that.
interested. Yeah.
To beat Ferrari,
Yeah.
you know, that's where you make a name for yourself.
It
Hence
is.
Ford versus Ferrari,
And that's how you sell your
Mercedes,
cars.
Ferrari.
Yeah, that's how you sell the cars. And I think the other side to that as well is that you've mentioned Ford, and I wonder at what point Ford will come back.
I don't think it will take too long. The only issue with Ford is they haven't got a shell or a chassis for it. They're going to be powering Red Bull from 2026, so surely they've got to be onto something about finding a shell for the car, for the engine.
You think so? Like, but Ford know how to make Ferrari beaters because they've done it.
Yes.
I know that was back in the day. Things have changed, technology's changed, but yeah, I feel like if Ford come back, then you get that kind of holy, like, it's not even a trinity. It's like, I don't know, the holy 12 or the holy 15 or whatever it is, where you've got so many different makes of car in one class, and that's one class out of 3 classes at Le Mans, 2 classes everywhere else. Like,
Yep.
and usually the brands in the hypercar, you look at the GT class, and the same brands are in the GT class, and apart from a couple of cars, like, and that alone shows that these brands have, all right, they've been in it for GT for a while, but Ferrari, Mercedes, etc., they might not necessarily completely focus on all of the cars in the GT3 field.
No, but you think about it, the LMH category plays out to any engine supplier or team that has worked in F1 because they've been running hybrid since 2014.
Exactly.
So it's almost like opening another door to enter, to be like, well, we know our way around hybrids now. All we've got to do really is make a car that's competitive.
Yep.
So
It's literally
it's
it.
interesting that Mercedes haven't got a car in there, if I'm honest, because they've had the best. Well, maybe not at the moment, but they've had the best over an average
Yep.
with the hybrid engine. So yeah, they've got the AMG one, which has got the F1 engine in it. I'm surprised they haven't come out with a hypercar of their own.
Yeah, me too. But time will tell. I'm sure at some point there'll be something will come along. I mean, there's still some brands that I'd question if they would do it as well. Like, I don't think someone like Volvo would turn up and do it. You know, they've got racing experience,
No.
but I don't see them building a hypercar. But
Nah, they're more focused on electric, I think,
they are.
like a few of the others.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice to see Aston Martin apply themselves to that. It'd be interesting. The Valkyrie, I'll be honest with you, it's not the best looking car,
No, it looks weird.
but it might be quick.
Makes up for it in sound. So yeah.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah. Which side of the table do you go there? But onto the table, and the points table in British Touring Cars and
Yes.
Croft. We had Croft and we had pretty
Bit
interesting
of
race.
carnage.
Yeah,
Yep.
relative carnage. Yeah, Sutton. I don't know what's going on this year with Sutton. Falling off the horse a little bit.
He's languishing in third. He's 29 points off the lead, which, as we know in BTCC, 29-point gap isn't enough.
No.
But he's not relishing on the success that he had last year, where he was, dominating, clearly dominating.
Yep. Like, very
so
clearly.
it seems that Hyundai have up their game, and Jake Hill's having a cracking season. He just has those odd races where he makes mistakes or doesn't do a very good qualifying. So
And it costs him, doesn't it?
yeah, it does definitely.
Excuse me. Yeah, and so Jake Hill struggling. Turkington won one of the races. Awesome
Yes, he
to
won
see
the
a
first
return
race.
from.
Yep.
Awesome to see a return from Colin Turkington.
Yep.
And Ingram tops the table, and like you say, the Hyundais are doing well. That showcased in race 3 with Tom Chilton.
Yeah, he did one of those races where he started on pole. He kept it clean while everyone else was scrapping behind him,
Just drove off.
Because of the first couple of laps, he built something like a 5-second lead.
Yeah.
And they were all chasing after that, and only had 15 laps and couldn't catch him. But you've got Tom Ingram. He's took the lead of the championship. He finished on the podium once.
Yep.
At Croft.
Yep.
Sutton didn't get a single podium.
Nope.
Jake Hill didn't get a single podium.
Nope.
His highest place was 5th, so he must have been top of the.
He had a bit of a shocker.
Yeah, and Turkington won the first race. He's not even in sight in the second or third.
Nope.
which shows.
Well, he got taken out by Ingram. To be fair.
Yeah, there is that.
So,
Yeah. Nice to see Rob Huff and Josh Cook up there in race 2.
yeah, awesome.
Cook took the win. Rob Huff just behind him.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Huffy's come back, man. Really cool to see that Rob Huff's come back and is still competitive. And he's still awesome at the age he is. Like, that's awesome.
It's crazy how the guy's old. I remember the days when he came in and he was driving the Lassetti and then the Chevrolet Cruze, and he was the young gun. Like, and then he went off and did World Touring Cars and European Touring Cars.
Yep.
And now he's back. He's old.
He's like, actually old.
Where's that time gone?
I know, right? But what? What's going on? Yeah.
It's mental.
Yeah, it's mental, isn't it? Like, but it's cool to see him back. Yeah. Shall we move on to past driver mentions, Matt?
Yes.
You've got info on these.
It's literally just a tiny little section we do, basically showing appreciation to drivers that didn't reach the end of their careers the way they should have done in the past, and basically are a big part of what makes racing what it is today. So, first off, we've got Peter Collins, passed away August the 3rd, 1958. Drove for Ferrari. I think that was an accident in practice, if I'm right. I didn't write it down. We've got Carol Godin de Beaufort, 1st of August 1964.
Yeah.
That was in a testing accident. And Patrick Depailler, 1st of August 1980, which is the most recent one of those.
Yeah.
Who was a really good driver, apparently, according to what I've read. And
I recognise the name, yeah.
Yeah, and another one, testing accident.
Shame.
So it's probably one of the reasons, not only cost, why they don't do testing anymore, because you haven't got all the medical support and the marshals that you have on a race day.
So true.
It's quite limited. So, but back then, I mean, oof.
Testing was unlimited, wasn't it? You could go and do as long as you wanted.
Yeah. Yep, and you'd be testing for different categories as well. Because Formula 2 used to mix it up. Formula 1 used to go to Indy 500 and all sorts of stuff like that. So
They did.
But yeah.
Well, rest in peace to those that have lost their lives in the sport of sport that we all love dearly and get to enjoy watching every week.
Yes.
And we get to do it on sim, but we don't risk our lives like those guys do. So credit to those, and rest in peace to those that have lost their lives.
Yes.
Onwards to the final piece. The game begins, and I believe I have a point.
Which order we were doing? Are we going over what we did?
I think we go over what we did, and then we
time?
give next race predictions. So,
Well,
Matt,
I've got the altered. Sorry, I mean non-altered predictions here.
The altered prediction. 10 points to Matt for one thing. Yeah.
So, Silverstone.
Yeah.
The winner, you predicted Piastri.
Yeah.
I predicted Russell.
Yeah.
Both wrong. Nil point.
New points.
Unexpected occurrence, I suppose we could call it.
Yeah.
You put
Perez.
Hamilton contact,
Oh, no.
and I put 2 red flags.
No. Neither of us got that right. I think we were hoping for more of a humdinger than that.
We're not going to need a calculator for this one, mate.
No.
First retirement, you put Perez, and it was Gasly, I think.
Yeah, it was straight away.
I put Sonoda.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Nil bar. Then we've got
Part of the Red Bull
GT
family in some way.
Yeah. Yeah, so you got the car, right?
Kind of.
But, well, no, because it was Alpine, wasn't it? So I've got that wrong as well. GT World Challenge, Hockenheim, sprint rounds, winners. So for race 1, you put BMW car 32.
Yeah.
And it was AMG.
Yeah.
I put Porsche, so both wrong. Race 2, you put Ferrari.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
you put car 50. and I'm not quite sure what the number of the car was. So give me a second.
Okay. I'm looking forward to seeing this now. If it's car 50, I'm going to celebrate so much. Alright.
Yeah, because you'll get a point for
Whoop, whoop.
that. Race
It's not going to be
results.
car 50. As much
Ooh,
as I want it to be.
race 2. Car 14.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 49 then. But it's close enough.
This will be interesting. There's no car 50.
Oh. I thought there was a
They're
car.
ML Frey now.
Oh. Ah.
But I put BMW car 46, so I was even further off. I didn't even get the right car. Right, BTCC results now.
Yes.
So for race 1, you put Jake Hill.
Yeah. Did I? Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yes.
I did.
I said Sutton.
Both wrong.
Race 2, you said Turkington.
Wrong.
I said Jake Hill. And for race 3, you said Tom Ingram.
Yeah.
And I said Andrew Watson.
You did. You did say Andrew Watson. I remember that now.
Mine was left field, which was kind of right because Chilton is a bit left field with
He is
getting
a bit
his
left
result
field.
nowadays.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's our monthly prediction. We won't go into the F125 prediction till the end of the year, so we're going to make you all wait.
Oh, I wanted that point. But okay. Right. Well. Okay.
So
Yes.
we've now got to make
Predictions
this.
for this time.
So we'll go Zandvoort,
Mm.
and we'll go winner. Who are you thinking will win at Zandvoort?
Red Bull. Max Verstappen.
Max.
It's the most boring thing, but home crowd, home circuit. If he doesn't win, I'll be surprised. I will genuinely be surprised if he doesn't win.
I'm going.
Yeah.
Oscar Piastri.
That was my other choice. I was like, do I go Oscar? Because he might be quite good, but yeah.
Zandvoort, first retirement.
Logan Sargent.
Ooh.
I feel like he's had such a good run that he's going to get knocked off the horse in Zandvoort. Bad run.
I'm going to go Ocon.
Yeah, I can see that.
Reasoning behind that is Alpine's reliability is absolutely appalling. It's as bad as the year when Red Bull said, "Had enough."
Yeah, yeah,
And Horner was falling out with Cyril Beatable.
yeah.
Zandvoort.
Yep.
Still, why have I written Zandvoort again? Right. Unexpected occurrence. What are you thinking? Don't forget last year's race, the rain caused havoc.
It did, but unexpected occurrence. I think there will be a. I think there'll be one red flag, and it won't be to do with the weather.
One red flag. What do I think's going to happen? I think we're going to see an upside down car.
What, Zandvoort?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's Zandvoort done. Now we will go Monza. Winner.
Lando Norris.
Lando. I'm going to go.
Too late to change my answer.
You can change it. It's too late. when the podcast ends, so you can change your answer.
Yeah, scrap Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz.
Ooh, that's interesting. 'Cause I'm going to say Leclerc.
Do you know? I think we've both got the same thinking behind this. That Ferrari will just be rapid in Monza.
Yeah, it. Ferrari have got to do something.
Yeah,
They've got to.
yeah,
And Monza, it's one of those tracks where you don't actually need to have a car that's that good on a proper technical track. So, right, who's your first retirement? Don't forget, they've also changed the configuration of the first chicane.
Have they?
It's not as tight now. I saw
Okay.
a GT testing day there yesterday, and they've kind of like, instead of a 90-degree right-hander, it's more eased off and
Okay, makes it a little bit
flowing.
easier. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say Magnussen is the first retirement.
hate Mac.
Because I think he's a bit clumsy sometimes, and Monza's a very clumsy-prone circuit.
Mm.
Like turn one, if someone like Magnussen is like, I want that space, there's going to be an accident, and he's going to be out of the race.
I shall say, I'm going to say Alonso.
Okay.
I don't feel he's having the best of times at the moment at Aston Martin. And Monza is not a place where you need things going against you. And I'm pretty sure that they're not very fast in a straight line at the moment. As I've also heard Perez moaning about straight line speed, which is hilarious because Max was fine. But yeah, I think Aston are struggling for straight line speed, so he might have a bit of a turn one where he decides, oh, I'll make 3-4 places up at the start.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Alonso isn't showing any signs at the moment that he really cares.
No.
Like he just seems to be in it for the fun of it.
He does seem to be in it for the fun of it. Yeah.
Ooh, unexpected. At Monza.
Shot myself in the foot. Right, so in this, with this question, I'm saying that Magnussen will probably retire because of a mechanical issue rather than an incident like a crash. And so my unexpected element for Monza is no safety car, no red flag at all. Because there's always seems to be something at Monza.
Yeah, it does. I'm going to say. Ooh, do I go for? I'm going to say. Perez beats Max.
Oh, fucking hell. I put a bet on that. I'd put a bet on that, mate. I'd put a bet on that.
So yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah. Okay. GT?
Did we do GT? Yeah. So GT, what is the?
Magnicure.
Is it 2 sprints again?
It will be at Magnicure.
Let's have a quick look. Right, so Magnicure.
I think we both can confess that we don't know as much about the GT calendar as we do the F1 calendar.
They mix it up, don't they? They have sprint races, they have
they do all sorts of
enduros.
different.
The enduros are different lengths. So yeah, there's 2 races. So, race 1.
I can't say number, but
James. Yeah, let's leave numbers.
let's leave numbers this time. I think it'll be Ferrari Ferrari, Lamborghini.
Ferrari, Lamborghini.
A Lamborghini.
I'm going to say
Down your
Manucore.
line.
I'm going to say BMW. They will win a race this season.
Okay.
Ferrari. AMG. Race 2. James. Race 2.
Lamborghini. Aston Martin, Ferrari.
Ooh.
Probably totally wrong.
I'm going to go Porsche.
Yeah.
McLaren. Ferrari.
I forgot about Porsche. Uh-oh.
Right, here we go. BTCC. I don't know why I keep spelling Knockhill like that. Need to pack that in.
To knock it off. Yeah, I'm joking.
So, James, and we'll go top 3 for race 1, top 3 for race 2, top 3 for race 3. Instead of just the singles, because then there's more chance we might actually get some points.
Front wheel drive is going to be king at Knockhill. Usually is.
Probably, yeah.
So, I'm going to say race 1, Ingram, Sutton, Hill. Race 2, Sutton, Cook, and Rob Huff. And race 3, Jake Hill, Tom Ingram, Ashley Sutton. I feel like you always have to change up race 2 because of the way the grids work.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I'll go race 1, Cook, Sutton, Turkington. Race 2, I'll go Sutton, Ingram, Hamish.
Oh. To be fair, Camish has been thereabouts. So
yeah, he's fourth in the championship.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's not. Row bottom is. Oh, there you go. I'll go row bottom for race 3. We'll go Hill and I can't remember who's driving now. Oh, we'll go Watson for P3 in the Toyota.
Okay.
There we go. There's that saved, so that can't be changed. So yeah, that'll be interesting to look back on next month.
It will be
interesting results and predictions.
Absolutely.
I've gone a bit far west, man. But yeah, GG.
Yeah, GG, and yeah, been a good little podcast today, I think.
Yep.
But thank you everybody for watching. If you've tuned in while we're live, big thank you to you guys for tuning in. If you're watching back and you want to get joined in with CRS stuff in the future, you want to maybe get yourself on the podcast, or you want to do some racing with us or be on the stream, don't forget, description at the bottom of this video, you've got the Discord link to join CRS Yeah, feel free to pop in, say hello, and get involved with everything that we do. Matt, anything else you want to leave everything on?
Just next time we're on, we'll have some more updates on the IndyCar with CRS, and we will be verging upon Indy 500.
We will be verging upon the Indy 500. We will be indeed. Make sure you look out for the CRS stream that will possibly be going up shortly, or if not shortly, at some point today or this week. Yeah, big thanks everyone for watching. I've been James. He's been
I've
Matt.
been Matt.
And this has been After the Lights. Catch you guys later. Thanks very much. Bye.